Good evening, everyone. We will be going over the European style of dining and table etiquette. Okay, alrighty. So, first things first, the napkin should be in your lap already from your other courses, gracefully laid there with the flaps facing towards the table. Okay, okay, and now as we can see, according to our table setting, we are on the entrees, which means that our previous cutlery and utensils have been removed from the table already, and we're left with what we need for our entree and maybe our dessert. Okay, so how to begin is that you would want to go ahead and grab your fork and your knife. Okay, so before we begin, I'm going to tell you how to hold your fork and knife properly. So what you want to do is hold your fork, grab your fork. Your pen is going to be mainly focused on face down for your fork. You want your tines facing down, okay? And when you grab your fork, you're going to hold it and you're going to make sure that your pointer finger is at the base of that fork. That is going to support you throughout the whole meal. And while you're slicing and cutting and all of those things, okay? Now we'll go ahead and grab our knife. Same way, we're gonna grab the handle of our knife, use our pointer finger and hold and place it at the top of the knife, okay? All right, so pretending that we have food here on our plate, we'll pretend that we have a chicken breast or a steak. And what you wanna do is go ahead and place your fork into the base of that food item. And you want to leave room because that is where you're going to go ahead and make your first slice. Okay, and so the proper way to slice is to put your fork into the item, leave space, do a slicing graceful movement here. Keep in mind your elbows. You don't want your elbows to be out here. That can possibly disturb your guests or the next person. And also, you don't want to saw, right? You don't want to saw excessively, roughly, aggressively, anything like that. You want to properly just place your fork, give yourself room, okay? And just give yourself time. Relax and go ahead and cut into your meal. So here we are slicing our portion off, okay? Just doing a little slicing motion. All right, and so now we're ready to eat, okay? So keep in mind that you want your slice to be a slice that is almost like a perfect size, okay? You don't want it to be too small. You also don't want it to be too big, all right? And the reasons of that are that you don't want to slice something too big where you have to fight to get it into your mouth. And then after fighting to get it into your mouth, you have to excessively chew, aggressively chew. And that may not be flattering for you or your guests to experience. Also, you don't want to get a slice that's too small to where you're not enjoying the entire dish in its entirety. So you want to keep in mind you want a slice, you want a portion that is easy to eat. Also keep in mind that you want to have a portion that will allow you to chew in a timely manner, just in case there is small talk going on at the table or anything like that. You don't want to be chewing forever and everyone's, of course, they'll wait on you to finish, but you want something that is going to be appropriate for the timing of the meal, okay? So, all right, so there's our slice. Now we're ready to eat. So in European style, we are going to place our wrist here at the end of the table. Now, paying attention to the knife, you want the blades of the knife to always be facing inward, never outward like this. This can offend your guests, okay? Or like this, okay? You want it to be facing inward, okay? And then you want your wrist to just rest on the table while you go ahead and grab your portion, okay? So now that your wrist is resting, your blades are turned in, you'll go ahead and grab your portion that you cut, that you sliced really gracefully. Alrighty, and then you'll bring it up, and in European, you'll pivot. Okay, so let's do that again. We're grabbing our slice with the fork tines, bringing up, and you're pivoting. And then that's when you'll chew, chew, chew. Okay, so I'll do the motion 2 more times. So you'll grab your, you have it, and you have it. Alrighty, and pivot. Okay, one more time. Up and pivot. Alrighty, so all done with that. If you are still eating and you want to take a small rest between the motion of eating and cutting, you are going to just rest your wrist here. Okay, you're still eating. This is just a resting position for you. Alrighty, and so let's say you want to take a break. Alrighty, so you would place your fork here, face down. Okay, handles hanging off the plate, enough space for you to grab it without getting your hands into the meal. You don't want your hands, you don't want your fingers into that food when you're grabbing your utensils. You want to have enough space to where you can grab that comfortably, seamlessly, and neatly. Okay, same for the knife, but we are going to put our knife at 5 o'clock. Again, blades facing inward. You want to make sure those blades are facing inward and that your handle is hanging off for the knife, okay? So this does a couple of things, okay? This position allows you to rest. It also allows your waiter, your wait staff, and the restaurant staff to know that you're not finished with your meal yet. You are just taking a small break, a small pause, okay? So again, the fork is facing down, the knife is facing inward with handles off the plate and making it easily accessible for you to continue on, okay? You're in European style, you're not going to place your hands in your lap. That is very offensive there. They want to see your hands. And so you would just place your wrists at the table comfortably. It's very normal to do that. All right, so let's move on. Let's say it's time to dig into our side. So the way you're going to grab your utensils, you're never going to zigzag across and cross like that. You're going to just grab your utensils by their handle that you left off the plate. Make sure your pointer is in the right spot. Grab your knife by the handle that you left off the plate. Make sure your pointer is in the right spot. Okay, and so now we're going to be on to our side dish. So let's say we have a side dish like rice, okay? You are still going to have your fork tines facing down even for your side dish, okay? So the formal way to eat rice formally in European style would be to place your fork down and then to scoot the rice onto your fork, okay? And so we know that rice is tiny and sometimes slippery. And so you're not gonna overload the fork. It's not gonna be able to hold that much anyway, but you're not gonna be able to, you're not gonna overload it. What you're gonna do is gently scoop rice onto your fork, apply pressure to the tines to allow the rice to stick into the fork tines, and then at that point you'll have enough to where you can comfortably lift and pivot. Now this is why you don't want to overload it as well. The fork is already upside down, and so you can't upload a pile of rice, because then what happens here? Okay, so again, you're going to put your fork down, use your knife to load your fork, add pressure to your knife, and then rest your knife, go back into and pivot, okay? Go back into your lift and pivot, all right? So let's do that motion one more time. rest, lift, pivot. Okay? Alrighty, so that is the formal way to eat your rice. Now, if you're in a more casual setting, maybe at home or maybe at a casual restaurant, a more casual restaurant, what you can do is turn your fork, okay? Turn your fork like this, having your finger on the outside side and your thumb on the inside, resting your fork face up, and then instead of going to the side, we're going to use our knife to push away, okay? We're never going to bring food to us like this to load our fork. What we'll do is push away. So you would rest your fork in a position that is great for you to push, and you would use your knife to load your fork, okay? Load your fork, again, not too big, not a portion that is going to fall on the way to eating, but to a good amount that'll allow you to eat comfortably. Loading your fork, paying attention to that motion, okay? And then again, resting your knife here, lift and pivot, okay? So that is the informal way or casual way to dine with a side item or rice, okay? So after that, let's take another break. So we'll place our fork here, face down, handle hanging off, our knife here. Uh-oh, blade's not facing this way, but facing this way, okay? So this is a rest. Now say you would like to take a sip of water, all right? This is the resting position for your plate. Everyone knows that you're not finished. Now you would reach for your napkin before taking a sip. Using your pointer finger, you'll reach for your napkin. Use your napkin to lightly dab the corners of your mouth, collecting any excess food, moisture, or anything of the sort. Never spit into your napkin or anything like that. And never rub, okay? So it's important that you dab. You just want to dab slowly, dab gracefully, and then return your napkin to your lap, okay? Never rub, okay? Don't wipe or anything like that. It's a small dab, okay? So let's do it all together. All right, this is me going for my water, collecting my napkin, using my pointer. I'm dabbing, I'm returning my napkin to my lap, and now I'm going for my water goblet, okay? Okay. Done with my sip of water. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get back into my meal. I would grab my fork, hold it correctly, pointer fingers at the base. Grab my knife, hold it correctly, pointer finger on top at the base, and I would finish my meal. Whether it's slicing, whether it's rice, okay, I will finish my meal. Now, I'm finished with my meal, right? So let's say I'm all done. I no longer want to eat any of it, okay? Now, in European style, we are going to place the fork here, face down, okay? Knife, again, always blades inward. We're going to place both of the items at 5 o'clock, okay? After this, you don't have to do anything. The waiter knows that you are finished. Of course, your guests know if they know that you're finished. And so now you would just wait. Again, place your hands here at the top. Once your food is collected, if you are expecting a dessert course, your wait staff will come around and they will move your fork to this side and your spoon to this side, depending on what your dessert is and if you would need one or the other. And that is European. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go into the American style of dining and table etiquette. Okay, so here we have our utensils. Same setup. So we're going to grab each utensil one at a time. Okay, so go ahead and grab your fork. And for American, you're going to begin with it like this. Handle, pointers on the back, grab your knife, pointer on the top, okay? And this is assuming that you're going to cut something first, okay? If you're gonna cut something, go ahead and grab it like this. Okay, slice is the same, Okay, now you're done cutting. In American style, you're going to rest your knife at the rim of your plate at the top. So you'll just place your knife here at the top, okay? And now you're ready to eat. So if you're right-handed, this is your right hand, you will zigzag your fork into your right hand and hold it like a pencil, okay? So that is called a zigzag in the American etiquette table dining. And so from there, you will just go on, scoop away from yourself, eat, bring it to your mouth. Scoop away, up, into your mouth. Gradually, up, into your mouth. Okay? Now, let's go back. Let's say you would like to cut another portion of your meal. You will then take your hand out of your lap, okay? Go ahead and grab your utensil with your left hand, grab your knife with your right, okay? And now you're ready to cut again, okay? Okay, once you're done cutting, go ahead and place your knife here, back to the top of the rim, and you would go ahead and continue eating. After you switch your fork, after you zigzag your fork into your other hand, be sure to place your idle hand into your lap, okay? Then again, scoop, eat, okay? So now let's say you want to take a break. You want to take a talk break. You want to take a break, take a breather. In American etiquette, table settings, we will place our fork face up, just like this, leaving the knife at the top of the plate, placing the fork right here, okay? And the same napkin etiquette as far as if you would like to go for a drink. After you set your utensils in the pause setting, you would then go grab your napkin, use your pointer finger and dab, never rub, never scrape, okay? Dab, 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 dab. Place it back into your lap, your idle hand into your lap, and reach for your water goblet, okay? Okay, done. Alrighty. Okay, now let's hop back in. Grab one utensil at a time. Grab your fork and your knife. And now we're ready to eat. Okay, slice, slice. We're done cutting. Now let's say we're done eating. All right, so since we're done eating, we're going to go ahead and place our knife here at 5 o'clock. Zigzag your fork, place your fork here at 5 o'clock. And this is code to the waitstaff that you are all done with your meal and that they are ready to pick up your plate. Okay, perfect. Same as European. If your next course is going to be your dessert, your waitstaff, as they pick up your plate, in between the time in between the moment that your dessert gets to the table, the waitstaff should come over and move your fork and spoon to the appropriate sides, and now you are ready to enjoy your dessert. And that is the American style.